Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What did I do? This is part two. The lesson I was just going through of integral yoga. So let's get this party started. Writism 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. Message and story for life. I give life lessons, sometimes from the book, but it's all about you to get you to know thyself. My mission is for that to happen for all my right thinkers. So I appreciate you tuning in. Got a good lesson for you. Let's get it started. Right thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment by any means necessary. That's my going to tell you. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. About to do the yoga thing. That's what it's all about. Will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know themselves. That's why I give you the lesson, the information, knowledge that you can use to do just that. So let's rock. The question, do you know you? A lot of us think we do, but I'm gonna give you 5 characteristics of us and find out which one is you. If you know you, you find yourself, and if that ain't what you're satisfied with, work on yourself. Check me out. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's what I do. What I do for you. I appreciate you. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes that they know dangers, avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to bring you knowledge of self, to wake you up to yourself. A person who knows and knows that they know, oh, is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know that self. Into my yacht, be true. Now let's wrap up, or let's start off the second part of this integral yoga. Start out with the paths of yoga. This is integral yoga. It's 4 things or 4 phases that break down. In the first one, let's start out with emotion. Emotion and devotion goes together. The next one you have is reason. Reason and wisdom go together. The devotion is raised up for your higher self for the emotional aspect. Wisdom gives you reason. All these is raising your conscious level. All this is getting you to be a better thing. Service is the action of selfish service you provide by helping others. I do it by teaching right thinking philosophy daily. Will is having the meditation, the ability to raise your conscious level and commune with your higher self to give you better perspective and understanding of yourself. So let's continue. We just talked about yoga. Okay, the 4 steps, working towards your higher self. It's all about building up your personality, aspects of your personality that you control. Thus, yoga is what? A discipline of spiritual living. I tell you, virtue and righteous is spiritual living, which transforms, listen, every aspect of your personality. It's all about the personality, your persona, what you project, what you show in an integral fashion, leaving no aspect of your human being behind, mind, body, and spirit. If you're working on your mind and neglect the body of obesity, not eating right, it's not going to work for you. You're missing something that's important. Mind, body, and spirit. Every aspect of your personality have to be mastered. That's the key. Watch this. So this is important because why? An unbalanced movement, meaning you got 2 of the 3 right, it's unbalanced. You need them all. Will lead to what? Frustration, more ignorance, more distraction, and more illusions, leading away from what? Your higher self, leading down that road of degradation. Watch this. For example, if a person develops the reasoning aspect of personality, rhyme and reason, he or she may come to what? Believe that they have discovered their higher self just because they got one aspect of themselves under control, which may be reasoning. Okay, you can reason. You got wisdom. That's just one. However, watch this. When it comes to dealing with some problem, watch this, of life, such as a death of a loved one, they freak out. Why? Because their reason aspects don't take them to devotion or service or will. Why? They just using one aspect, which is their their reason, their wisdom. You know a few things. You might be intellectual, but if you can't handle emotional stress, then your devotion toward God ain't in whack or out of whack. Excuse me. So watch this. So, however, when it comes to dealing with watch this, such as a death, they cannot control what the emotions. Part of your aspect of your personality. If you don't master that, freaking out, losing it. Quick lesson. My sister and my mother showed me they had control over the emotion when my niece passed away and they dealt with that. I was impressed. So yeah, they control over emotion. So that's what it's all about. Having control when you need to show it. Claiming to have it, saying you have it and don't show it, waste of time. So when they can't control the emotions, or if they are, watch this, tempted to do something unrighteous, other side, right from wrong, you want something. Nobody's looking. That's wrong. Stealing. You got to have the wherewithal to tell yourself, don't do that. Why? Because if you do, you might feel good about doing it, thinking nobody saw it, but the consequences of that action will be dealt with and will come back to you one way or another. If you don't get caught telling it, you still got to deal with that action of negativity. Come on now. We think because nobody see, they tell you what's done in the dark will be brought to light. Whatever you're trying to hide will be brought to light. Simple as that. So watch this. When you try to do something unrighteous, an unrighteous act, such as smoking, they cannot control their action and have no willpower to resist. If smoking is not good for you and you continue to do it because you just got to smoke, you need to suffer consequences. That's all. If you're a cheater, and you can't stay loyal and faithful to one person, you got to suffer the consequences. Simple as that. If you steal, when you get caught in your hand a cookie jar, suffer the consequences. In life, there are consequences for your actions. We need to teach our young that, so they ain't got to wait to get grown to figure that out. Young kids should know if I take something, steal it, it's wrong. You implement that. You teach them that. Hold them accountable for that. Simple. Now, if they can't resist doing something that's wrong, the vision of integral yoga is, watch this, is a lofty goal. Why? Which every human being can achieve with what? The proper guidance. I'm a teacher. I'm trying to do just that. Guide you to where you need to go. Help you along the way. That's what I do for you. Again, that's my agenda. It's not hidden. It's transparent. I'm trying to get you to be your best self by giving you stuff to help you do just that. I can teach that. I can implement that. I can show you. You have to implement it on yourself. That's all. Moving on. Self-effort and repeated practice. If you're going to do something, you need to repeatedly do it. Practice, practice, practice. Doctors, they get the doctor's degree, they get the operation, they get the office. They're still 30 years in the practice, they're still practicing. So in life, I'm never gonna reach the highest height. Why? I'm constantly practicing to be better. There's always room for improvement in life. So watch this. Self-effort and repeated practice is what get it done. There is a very simple philosophy behind right thinking philosophy, aka integral yoga. What? During the course of the day, you may find yourself doing various activities, which you're supposed to. Sometimes you will be quiet. Other times you will be busy at work. At other times you might even be interacting with people, etc. Integral yoga gives you what? The opportunity to practice yoga when? At all times. You don't have to go sit around get in lotus position and go into meditative state. No, you just got to be good. God conscious. Do the right thing. That's what guides me. Knowing right from wrong and holding yourself accountable, that's being God conscious. That's having self-discipline. If it's not right, I'm not doing it. If it ain't going to serve me, I'm not interested in it. If it's going to hurt me, I'm not going to do it. That's personal, okay? That's every individual's right. And watch this. During the course of the day, you may okay. Now, watch this. Sometimes you will be quiet. Did that? Okay. So now, integral yoga. Okay. When you have quiet time, You can practice your meditation. That's on your quiet time. But when at work, you can practice righteous action and selfless service, doing stuff for others, helping go whatever needs to be done. Do play your role and get done what needs to be done. That's what you control. Watch this. When you have leisure time, I'm a driver. I'm sure. When I get done driving, when they go do what they gotta do, I'm sitting in the car, I pull my book out, I start getting me some knowledge. I fill my time up with doing something that's going to benefit me. I can do a whole bunch of stuff. I know that. But what I do is what I choose to do. Everybody had the right to do just that. Just know what you do and know why you're doing it. If it's beneficial, knock yourself out. If it ain't good, why you doing it? So when you have your leisure time, you can study. That's what I do. Reflect on the teachings. That's what I do. And when you feel sentimental or love for a person or object, you like, what's what? You can practice remembering, aka strolling down memory lane, the divine self who made it possible for you to experience. That's gratitude, the opportunity, to have experience and the company of those personalities, or the opportunity to what? Acquire those objects that you may want in life. It's something you want, you put forth the effort to get it. If it costs money, you save your money. You go about things. That's it. Understanding how to do things for yourself from a higher perspective, you can practice what? Reflecting on how the people and objects and creation are expressions of what? The divine. And this movement will lead you to what? Spontaneous and perpetual state of ecstasy. When you're God conscious, when you're at peace with yourself, you living, doing it, being right, you live in that constant state of ecstasy, peace, and here's my favorite word, bliss. I got a young lady who I call her my blissed out sister. Why? Because when you engulf with God, you are in the blissful state. You live like that. People walk around just happy, just praising the Lord. Yeah, those are good people. So I have a problem with them. I share the same bliss out that they had. Why? I know myself, and from their kind of aspect, they know themselves. We not a problem. Okay, where we at now? Now, doing what's this? This movement will lead you to peace, hotel, and bliss, which are what? The hallmarks of, you ready? Spiritual enlightenment. When you're at peace with yourself, it's because you're spiritually enlightened. You know things. The purpose of integral or right thinking philosophy, yoga, is therefore to what? Promote integration of what? Your whole personality of the human being, which will lead to what? Complete spiritual enlightenment. Thus, integral yoga should be understood as what? The most effective method to practice mystical spirituality. To get your spiritual consciousness elevated, is some things you can practice to make that happen. You can do it daily. That's what I do. And you get better at it when you do it for a period of time. Moving on. I got a few more minutes. The important part, watch this, to remember, understand, is that all aspects of yoga can and should be used what? In an integral fashion. Meaning all to be what? Benefit you, to help you work. So all work together. So let the God and Goddess. I just took the deviation from that one to give you yoga aspects because they tie into, trust me. Watch this. Oh yeah. Now, the important part of the aspect that you should and use being what? Integral fashion to what? Generate an generate an efficient and a harmonized spiritual movement in the practitioner, meaning you. Sorry about that. Therefore, while there may be an area of special emphasis that you may possess, okay, but other elements are bound to become part of your yoga program as what? Needed. For example, while a yogian may place emphasis on yoga of wisdom, again, one aspect, wisdom, you learn it, you obtain the knowledge. There may be also practice, you may also be able to practice what? Devotional yoga and meditational yoga along with the wisdom studies. Why? You're going to need them integrally to work with you as you're doing what you're doing. So you study them all as you go along. Further, watch this. It must be understood that as you practice one path of yoga, and it says paths, not one, paths, 5. Others will also what? Develop automatically. When you're doing certain things, other things just kick in. For example, watch this. As you practice yoga wisdom, your faith will increase, what? With knowledge. Or as you practice the yoga of devotion, your wisdom will increase. See? As you practice it, you know it, it becomes part of you and it transfers. If this movement does not occur, watch this, your wisdom alone will be dry, intellectualism, or your faith alone will what? Be blind faith. Meaning there's no wisdom, there's no knowledge going with it. Most religious people do blind faith. They just follow what that book said. So when we speak of wisdom, that means you're doing your own due diligence. You're starting to learn for yourself. Here we are referring to what? Wisdom gained through what? Life experience or intuitional wisdom and not intellectual wisdom. Book knowledge is cool. Intuitive knowledge is better, aka self knowledge. Why? From practicing certain yoga aspects, they're going to kick in. You're going to do them automatically. Watch this. And wisdom is not intellectual wisdom. Watch this, which is speculative. As a Mason, I teach operative and speculative masonry. Operative is a Mason who works in mason bricks, laying them, subscribing, doing okay. But a speculative Mason deal with the same tools that they use, but they do it for a more noble and glorious purpose, meaning yourself. So that's called speculative masonry, and it's done mentally, symbolically. I taught that 20 years. If you do not, what? Practice the teachings through your yoga of action, meaning implementing it, doing it, your wisdom, watch this, and faith will be shallow. Why? Because you have not experienced the truth of the teachings and that allowed yourself the opportunity to test your knowledge and faith. If you haven't proven it for yourself, you don't know it. Me telling you don't help you one bit. Once you implement it, once you try it, now it's yours. You can call what you get from me whatever you want it. Why? Because once you get it, implement it, you master it, you can call it what you want. Like my man, Denzel told my man, the director, Nicky Barnes, it's blue magic when I put it out there. When you get it and tamper with it, it's no longer blue magic. You can't call it blue magic. Simple. Understand that concept. Now, if you don't have the introspection and the faith, your wisdom and actions will be what? Externalized, just for show, agitated, and distracted. Why? Because it's not honest and sincere. So it's not going to work. Your spiritual realization will be insubstantially weak and lacking in stability. Your knowledge of self only gets improved or will improve with what? Knowledge. Not with ideas and no experience. That's what's the teacher. And you got to implement it to experience it. So moving right on. I'm almost done. Yeah, we close. Here you go. You will not be able to meet the challenges of life, nor will you be able to discover your true spiritual realization in this lifetime. Meaning you're going to die unenlightened, so you're going to get reincarnated and you will no longer exist. Why? When Ahmet eats your heart, that's your consciousness that ties you to God. It's gone. Moving on. That's the concept. Watch this. Now, here we go. I'm doing my thing now. Now, you won't be able to discover your true spiritualization in this lifetime. Watch this. Or even after death. Meaning it ain't going to happen. If it didn't happen here, it ain't going to happen after death. So all that, you get to see God once you die. Man, that nonsense. Don't be fooled by that BS, belief system. Let me wrap it up. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. I got some more for you. Therefore, the integral path of yoga with proper guidance is the most secure method to what? Achieve genuine spiritual enlightenment. That's right thing the philosophy goal to get you just what that you need. Now, wrapping up, Isis is the Greek name for the ancient Egyptian Greek goddess who was regarded as the very embodiment of what? Wisdom, intuitive knowledge. She gave the spirit, the knowledge, and Haru. That's who the offspring is. Spirit, wisdom, Haru, your higher self, you. Her ancient Egyptian name was Aset. The wisdom teachings in the temple of Aset were known as, here we go, Shita Aset. The hidden meaning of Aset. They taught that. We will concentrate on what? The wisdom teachings of the temple of Aset for our study on what? The yoga of wisdom. That's my girl. The word yoga is a Sanskrit term meaning to what? Unite the individual with the cosmic forces. In ancient Egyptian, the term was Smatawi. Meant Sma, S-M-A-I. It meant the same thing. The English term has been used for the title of this book for ease of communication since the word Isis and yoga have received wide popularity in recent years. So her name, as I said, we know everybody recognize Isis, so they use that. I'm gonna stop now. I'll be back. I got part 3. How you know? Or there we go. I'll be back.